Welcome back to the Daily BS. My name is Doug Larson. You can find us at barbellshrugged.com. I got a question from Tiffany on Twitter. She says, what are the best movements to help get a strict pull-up? Right now she's just using bands and that's it. Which if you've been doing CrossFit for a while, you'll know that we use a lot of bands to assist people that can't do full pull-ups and lets them do kind of a modified pull-up in that the band is taking off a percentage of their body weight, so they can still do the same movement with just less load. So that's a great option. I'll first preface for this that you're training to get a strict pull-up, which means you're training vertical pulling specifically for strength. So we'll forget about net cons for the moment. We're talking just about training for pure strength. Usually the progression that we use for people that can't do pull-ups is kind of level one. They're doing ring rows, which is horizontal pulling, but you're still working a lot of the same muscle groups, and it's an easy thing to scale for people that are just starting out. And then we move on to some type of a banded pull-up, which is something you've already experienced. From there, you have a couple different options. You can do negatives, which means you start at the top and you try to lower yourself all the way to the bottom very slowly. Again, that's something that's pretty common in CrossFit gyms. Some other things that are less common is partner assisted pull-ups, where if you're pretty close to getting a pull-up and you can maybe get a single here and there, or you can kind of almost get a single, having someone stand right behind you and just kind of bump you through that sticking point and help you out just on the part that's really hard for you. Usually people can bend to here and then they can't get past, and then if someone can kind of bump them through the sticking point, they can finish the repetition. So having someone bump you through that sticking point is a great option also. And you can do something along the lines of 3 sets of 3 starting out with a partner assisted pull-up. That's a good rep scheme for negatives as well. 3 sets of 3 where you start at the top, lower down as slow as you possibly can. I'd say if you can lower in 5 seconds, then that's a pretty good place to be. If you're falling through and it's only taking you 2 seconds to get to the bottom, then you're probably not quite strong enough to do the negatives, and you want to stick with things like the band until you're strong enough to do something like a negative. As far as bands go, I'd say that you probably at least want to be doing a set of 5 or so with a purple band, which for us is right around a band that's about that thick. Do I have one sitting around here? Anyway, purple band's about a 1-inch band, so if you can do a set of 5 with a 1-inch band, then you can probably start trying out these other variations. Other interesting options you could try is on the negatives. If you're doing pretty well with that, you can start at the top again, chin up or pull up, it doesn't matter, and you could lower yourself down just low enough where you know you can make it back to the top, and then you try to go a little lower each time. So maybe one day you're starting at the top, and you lower down. You can only get to here and come back up and come back up, and then as you get stronger, you can start to go further and further each day until you can eventually go all the way to the bottom. So that's another way to switch it up, and again, to get used to holding your entire body weight on the bar. The bands aren't that great sometimes because you never really get used to holding your entire body weight on the bar. Kipping variations, for the most part, if you're training to get a strict pull-up, aren't really something you need to concern yourself with. And if you can't do a strict pull-up, then you probably shouldn't be doing that many kipping variations anyway. You're likely that you're just going to destroy your shoulder. So, kipping's not bad for you, but if you can't do a pull-up, then it's going to be very stressful on the part of the kip where you're coming down to hold yourself in a good shoulder position. And a lot of people in CrossFit get achy shoulders because they don't have the necessary pulling strength to really handle kipping before they start kipping regularly. So I would advise you not to do too many kips if you can't do a full strict pull-up. If you have more questions to ask, you can go to barbellshrugged.com, click the Ask a Question tab at the top of the page, or you can always go to Twitter at barbellshrugged, ask us a question there. Use the hashtag AskDailyBS, or also you can go to Facebook. It's facebook.com/barbellshrugged podcast. Like our page, ask us a question on the wall.
If you like this video or any of our other videos, make sure to share it on your Facebook wall by clicking share and then the Facebook icon, and then also like it. Thanks, Shrug Thugs.